Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Christine, Jamie, Grebati, Shafika, Timothy, Akila, Ziui, and MG. Please write your name in the chat, just for recording purposes, for our record purposes. Okay, today we'll cover, last week we have covered the topic 3 is more on the, what is in topic 3? Topic 3 was more on the we look into we do the environmental scanning, situation analysis. We do environmental scanning of the business, the digital business that we are looking at, and then what is the process of online marketplace analysis? And then we look into how do we did how do we analyze our marketplace, and then we look into search intermediaries. We look into the uh, yeah, because search intermediaries, and then we talk about channel structures, disintermediation, then some problems, and then we talk about the elements of digital business infrastructure, and then we talk about some technical issues and so on. So we have some discussion on the digital business infrastructure. Um, yeah, on the 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure, where we have applications layers, system software layer, and so on. So today we are moving to topic 4, which is more into strategy. So we look into how do we develop digital business strategy. In much more detail, I think you can also read any book, because any strategic book. But when we talk about digital business, digital entrepreneurship, when we talk about entrepreneurship, we are looking at what we call an effectuation theory. Hold on, I think I need to put in some effectuation on your notes. I think we'll just discuss on the effectuation theory later next week. I'll talk about the effectuation theory, but today we'll just talk about strategy first. Topic 4, we'll talk about strategy. This is by Michael Porter. Uh, Today, we are not talking about acceptance or diffusion of technology. Today is how do we deploy technology. Yeah, today it's not about whether we want to deploy internet technology or not. Companies have no choice. Everybody is embarking into the internet. So, but how do we deploy internet in order to stay competitive? This is by Michael Porter in 2001. You can look for this article. So now we look into how do we deploy our strategy? How do we implement the strategy? What is strategy? Strategy is something that defines how we will meet our objectives. So when we do it, we set up an organization, we will have our objectives, our goals. What is the principal aim of our organization? Some organization may be for profit. Some organization may be not for profit. Some organization might be a government agencies, government bodies. So you have, and then some agencies you may have some of specific goals. You want to prove certain technology. You develop a technology, and then you want to prove that the worthiness of this technology. You want to embark into new market. You have a market. You have a current market in Malaysia, for example. You want to move it somewhere else. So you have an objective. You have objectives. Now, how strategy is how do you meet? How will you meet your objectives? How do you achieve your objectives? That is strategy. So, and then how do you set your allocation of your resources? What kind of resources do you have? You may have, basically, if anybody does accounting, it would be your funding, your people, materials, your relationship, that would be your resources. Relationship is also a resource. Your relationship, key partners, your partners, your association, alliances is a resource. Your asset, access to raw material is your resource. Your funding is your resources. Physical hardware are your resources, as well as your intellectual property are also resources. So how do you combine all these, your intellectual property? For example, you develop some kind of new technology, and then there is, for example, when you talk about entrepreneurship, we look into opportunities that we have. We have new technology coming up, and then we want to make use of this technology and then build a business model. This is what this class is about, where we have technology, internet technology, IT technology, maybe fintech, maybe artificial intelligence. The technology is there. The technologies are just enablers, enable us to do something, but we need to combine with some business model so that we can allocate resources. The technology is a resources, your intellectual property is a resources, your funding is resources, physical asset is your resources, your manpower is your resources, your skill is your resources. So there are many kinds of resources. So how do you allocate these resources in order to meet your goals? You begin with the goal just now, and then now how you allocate these resources to meet your goal. And then you will determine, whenever you talk about management is about making decision. And then how do you make decision? Because you read the book by Herbert Simon, and that there are several phases of decision making. The first part of decision making is to understand the problem, understand the situation. And then once you understand the situation, you will develop several solutions for them, several alternative solutions, and then you will analyze the solution to pick up one of the solutions among the alternative solutions, and then you will implement one of them, and then you will do measurement, you do monitoring, whether the solution that you pick up is the right one. Otherwise, you will do what do you call? You will revert back, and then you iterate the process again. So which strategic option do you want in order to compete within the market? You have to define your market, and then which strategic option, which of the alternatives that you will pick up. And then, then you will have a long-term plan for the development of this organization. Yeah, long-term plan. Remember, if you talk about balance scorecard, there are four components of balance scorecard, not just monetary. Financial is one of it, but the other side is you have this customer. How do you maintain your customer? And then the other one is how do you improve your internal operations? But the fourth one is how do you improve, or what do you call it, learning process? How do you equip your organization learning process in order to have a long-term development plan that is still in the scorecard? So that is strategy. So there is, these are the alternative definitions of strategy. How do you meet your objective? How do you set the allocations for resources to meet these goals of your objectives? And then how do you select several strategic options? Yeah, you have several strategic options in order to compete with this specific market. So which one do you pick? And then you have a long-term plan for the development of the organization. But okay, but then what is the process for undergoing this? So there are several forms of organizational strategy. Typically, at the top, we will have a corporate strategy, corporate idea, top level decision, top level management, TL, the strategic management, decide what to do with the organization, where is the organization is heading to. If they are in the driver's seat or in the cockpit, to bring the organization to somewhere that they have decided. That is the corporate strategy and how to go about it. And then, but below this corporate strategy, you have these functional strategies. Functional strategies, you have the regional strategies, you have business unit strategies. These are sometimes called tactical strategies, tactical level. These are tactical level. So you have top level management, which is a strategic management, and then in the middle, below, we have a functional level. Functional level will be like marketing is a function, finance is a function, production is a function. What is the marketing strategy? What is the information technology strategy? What is the maybe research and development strategy? So from the corporate strategy, it will spill down, will push down the goal of the organization down to the functional units. Meaning the corporate strategy will have achieved, say, they want to achieve a certain level of market, penetration certain market, want to be the top number one in the country, for example, and then penetrate new market and moving to another different continent, for example. So the functional units of the organization, maybe the finance department will prepare how are we going to go there, and then what are the resources that we need. The marketing department will have the strategy. How do they create their presence in the area, for example? And then the production department must be aware of what sort of requirements are there for the people there in a different location. And then how do you embark? How do you prepare? How do you develop new set of products or SKUs to meet the requirements of the new? So that is the functional strategy. Then you will have a regional strategy. Regional strategy for certain region. You can read because I used to read the CIA report. CIA, there is an economic report in the CIA. They publish it. You can find in the web. So they provide information about certain countries. So in order, for example, let's say you want to go to Guatemala, you want to go to Conakry in Republic of Guinea, or you want to go to Ghana, certain countries, and then you want to do business there, you need to know what is the say the purchasing power. What is the purchasing power? Well, I was involved in setting up of a bank in a different country, in a foreign country. You need to know how much savings that the they do, the customers do, so that from the savings, and then in order to have that, you need to know how much income do they earn, say a general income, an average income. You cannot rely just into per capita income, because per capita income sometimes is very high, because there are people who are very high earning, and then there are people so you need to get some average. Majority of the people, how much do they earn, and then monthly, and then how much do they spend, and then how much is their propensity to save, and then only you can determine whether uh, how much you will have in your coffer, in your savings account, or in your CASA, savings account, current account, fixed deposit, and so on. And then certain percentage of it you will issue back in terms of lending. So that is how you work out. So you need to have regional currency, the production of the national productivity of the country. That is regional strategy. You need to understand the regional strategies, and then business unit strategies. You may form a specific business unit in your organization that have specific requirements. For example, you are embarking into a new area, a new discipline, a new field. You have been in, say, property, and then you want to build in a hotel. Hotel is another business. It's not exactly property. So you need to have a business unit strategy. Yeah. So so then all this actually is actually built from extension of this corporate strategy. Then you will need to do digital. You need to do planning of this the digital business planning. You need, okay, business planning, but for digital business, it will be digital business planning. Yeah, yeah. So you have this business unit strategy, regional strategy, functional strategy, as per your requirement, according to your business needs. Yeah. So, but basically, business have two sides. Any basic trading or production or marketing or manufacturing in businesses, there are two sides, which are the sell side and the buy side. Yeah, the sell side and the buy side. We look into the sell side first. Who are the sell side? Sell sides are your customers. So what is your sell side strategy? Your sales side is e-commerce is a channel strategy. That is so in business you have these channel strategies. Channel comprise of five components. You look into the business model components. There are five components. One is the creating awareness. Number two is creating pre-sales, sales, which is e-commerce is part of sales, and then delivery and after sales. So these are so sales side e-commerce is a channel strategy. Is a channel, and then how do you, the objective is to have an online contribution percentage. Yeah, that is your should be your strategy. So you will look into acquisition, conversion, retention, service, and profitability. So how do you hit your channel rates? Channel, and then what is the sales target? Acquisition is where you will acquire new customers. They are currently not your customer, and then they become your customer. That is acquisition. Conversion is you have they are prospects. They are prospects. You convert the number of prospects become your customer. Yeah, so they have initiated some discussion with you. They require some quotations and so on. Pre-sales, pre-sales to make a sale from pre-sales is conversion. Retention is uh, they have been your customer, they retain as your customer. So they are last year, today they are still with you. Next year they are still with you. So you are retaining the customer. So usually people give some loyalty program, some discounts, yeah. So to retain them. So it's easier to retain customer than to get other people's customer to become your customers. And then the inverse of retention is churning. Churning is your customer today, tomorrow they are no longer your customer. They are other people's customers. So that is churning rate. So when your churn rate increase, you are in trouble. So when your churn rate goes down, meaning you are being able to retain your customers. And then once you have your customer, you need to provide after sales service, continuously improve your service, from the product, any dissatisfaction, and so on. There are certain products that require constant servicing, machineries, vehicles, for example, that you requires constant servicing. And then of all in all, you need at the end you look into the profitability of your customers. It actually depends on the growth strategy. There is another strategy we call it growth. I'm not sure it's here. Growth. Growth is where each of your customer buy more. They have retained them, but they have been constantly buying, say, 10 ringgit every day or every week from you. So when grows, meaning that each customer buying more than they usually do, earlier 10 ringgit, maybe 15 ringgit or 20 ringgit, that is growth. Yeah, growth. So the channel strategy, e-commerce strategy also communicate benefits of using these channels. So you prioritize product available through these channels. So you will have e-commerce site that tells what is the benefit of buying products online, prioritize what the products will be available through these channels. Yeah. Prioritize audiences targeted through these channels and select partners who are the partners that will be using these channels. Yeah. So they thrive on the differentials, but you need to manage this channel integration. Yeah? So that is sell side. The other side of your strategy is the buy side. Buy side, sell side improves your revenue, but sales buy side improves your costing, improve your cost. You need to maintain good costing. You need to maximize operational efficiency, meaning you will be able to, while you will be able to improve your service quality, but you can maximize the operational efficiencies. You can buy product. You need to have good purchasing policy, good purchasing policy. Uh, Improve your operational efficiency. You do not want to have hiccups in the supply. You don't want to incur so much cost as well. You can opt for something like JIT, just in time. You can have economic ordering quantity. They just order as much as you need. So you do not spend so much into non-moving stock or slow-moving stocks. So all stocks are moving, and then you can find ways to move your old stocks. Yeah. So how you should e-commerce buy side, how should you automate internal processes? Maybe you can use electronic data interchange. You can have electronic purchase procurement, e-procurement to purchase your materials. So instead of every time you need to have what the quotations from your suppliers, so you may have, if things that you buy often, every month or every week, you can have a standard contract for a number of years, a year or 2 years for a certain supplier, and then ensuring that you can have access to the raw materials. You need to have access to raw material. This you can ensure that you have this raw material, and then you can automate the processes, so you don't have to do uh, detailed red tape processes, so that suppliers are getting um, stuck, and then you're not able to have access to certain suppliers to produce certain products. So you need to link your internal resource management with the external purchasing system. For example, like you can have access to, you can have what we call it extranet. Extranet, that certain materials that you can buy directly from certain suppliers. So you can have, you can link your system to them. There are certain vendors, large vendors, in Malaysia, for example, Telecom Malaysia, they link outside. For example, Petronas, they link outside to their vendors. They purchase online. So, yeah, so rather than issuing a physical purchase order, and then prioritize suppliers, partners, collaboration. If you look into your business model canvas, there is one, what we call it, partners, key partners. Key partners are those organization or companies that have signed with you to ensure you have a constant ready supply of certain materials, for example. So you can have determine your, you can predetermine your cost, your raw cost. Yeah. So prioritize suppliers, partners, collaborating using these channels, and then you prioritize application for the supply chain management system. So you have create a roadmap for the supply chain management system that will include the logistic and so on. Yeah, from the requisition order to the checking at materials at the stock at the store, and then until they issue the purchase order, and then the delivery is made through the logistic companies, your storage, warehousing, and so on, until you get the trucks coming, and then you have JIT, just in time, and then you know when the certain material will arrive, and so on. So you don't have to waste so much time in waiting for goods to arrive. So things just arrive when it is required, not before it is required, not so long after it is required. So you need to have this JIT system, just-in-time system, and then it involves selection of appropriate strategic partners that can guarantee, that can assure you a constant supply of certain materials that you need, or even certain services that you need. Yeah. So what if there is no digital business strategy? Yeah. So you will won't be able to have additional sales on the sell side, meaning that uh, you maybe there are, you need some buffer in case of some increase of need by the customers, and then so additional sales, there is additional sales on your sell side, and then so that you can have efficient purchasing on the buy side. So you need to have effective both both sides, and efficient both sides, efficient system to cater to both sides of your transaction, sell side and buy side. Yeah. And then you will fall behind competitor in delivering online services. And then you can have poor customer experience, poorly integrated channel, meaning that when you when you have received orders from your customers in your sell side, you will be able to target or to estimate the delivery of the material, because you have assured supply from your buy side. Yeah. Okay, that is the some basic of digital business strategy. So this is a generic a general strategy process model. Some of you may have different strategy process model, but this is a generic process for digital business, a generic model for digital business. So we look at it. So last week, we talk about the external environment. You understand you do situation analysis. From the situation analysis, that is part of your external environment, and then you determine your internal resources. What do you have in hand? So you begin with your strategy analysis will be looking into the external environment, political, economic, pestle, social, technology, legal, and society. So you have this pestle requirement. And then you also look at your internal resources. What is your say uh, people skill, your asset, your access to raw material, your machinery, what is the capacity of your machinery, what is your intellectual property, and so on. Your IP, and so on. The technology that you have, then you determine your strategic analysis, and then you move into your strategic objectives to determine your goal. What is your vision, your mission, and the objectives? And then you define each one of them. Because when you want to develop strategic objectives, you need to have options. You need to have options. Then you pick up based on options. Okay, you read about this decision-making model by Herbert Simon. Always it starts with option. If you learn business intelligence, so it's always learn about options, expected value and payoff. You need to have options. Whenever you have a problem, you need to identify your problem first, clear about your problem, and then you and then you will build up, you put up several options as your solution, several solution options, not just one solution, several options. That's why we need to have brainstorming and so on, so that we can build up several options. So once you have the several options, then you can weigh which options that you want to pick up. Then you make the decision, and then you implement. And then if doesn't fall through, you can always have go to plan B. Meaning you always have plan A, B, C, and D, so that you can pick A, and then if it doesn't work out, you can have plan B. Yeah. So there is this dynamic. Okay, any questions so far in general? So okay. Okay, today, okay, now we move into dynamic digital business strategy model. Digital business strategy model is based, when we say dynamic means it is interactive. It is interactive. We have events happening, yeah, situation happening outside there that you need to have sensors. Need to sensors. You need to be able to understand the situation from the event. So then you can build your knowledge, and then you evaluate your capability. Yeah, so build your knowledge, and then you evaluate your capability. How do I fit in the situation? How can I make use of the situation? How can I improvise? How can I take use the solution? I can develop some solution for the situation. And then from these key insights, you will develop your digital business design, build business goals from this. And then from the digital business design, you will develop your key objectives, some objectives that you want to achieve. Because you always start with a problem, you will start into, when we learned that in the first class, about opportunities. How do you get opportunities? You can come from problem. It can come from opportunity. And then if it is just opportunity, you look into technology that you can capitalize on, or you can have key asset or partners that you can capitalize on, or you have problem that you want to solve. So you develop your business goals from there. And then from there, you extract out what will be the key objectives that you want to solve. What will be the goal? And then then you will build your blueprint. Yeah, planning your applications, determine the priorities, which one you will start first. You will develop the application and deploy them, and then you will always do a feedback whether you achieve what is your target. Yeah, and then you will do a looping again, iterative. Okay, now based on that, you will move into this first part, which is the strategic analysis. You remember the first part here, strategic analysis. Yeah, strategic analysis. We look into the external environment. That is the event which is happening, and then what do we have in house, internal resources, and then we have two techniques here. One is the techniques on the, remember I told you about macro environment and the micro environment. Macro environment, which is the far-fetched environment, which is the social, legal, and technical, economic, political, technological, that is the macro environment. And then you have your micro environment, which is related to your organization, your resource analysis. What do you have? Just your resources. What is your portfolio analysis? Your SWOT analysis, SWOT and TOWS, TOWS, and then TOWS analysis, and then demand analysis, competitor analysis, that is your internal. And then you then only will develop your digital business specific techniques. So you develop your stage model, whether what is your sell side strengths, buy side strengths, and then the opportunities and threats on the whole value network. Yeah. So we will start with I think we have covered external environment last week, and then internal resources as well. And then we have also covered macro and micro environment. So now we look into the stage model. What are the stage models of a digital business development stage model? So usually when organizations start into digital business, they create a web presence first. What is web presence? Is you don't have a web, now you have a web. Create a web presence. Very basic, very minimal. Just have a website. Just have a home page. So services available, you can interact with customers. You have catalog, you have brochure in form of website. That is very minimal. So usually it is an isolated department. For example, marketing department, they prepare a website telling the audience, which are the people creating awareness. The first level of the channel is creating awareness. Remember, 5 level of the first level is creating awareness. Just creating awareness of what you are and what you are selling, and then what are your products, and then so the strategy is very limited, so much limited, and then the transformation is just to create a technological infrastructure, just a basic unit of basic. Even you can assign some company to develop website, maybe managed by your marketing department, just to tell people that you exist in the web. But your business is still in the physical business. The business is still physical business, but you tell people that you exist. So the people who are visiting websites, who are internet savvy, know that you exist. That is the basic, creating web presence. Then some organization still, maybe most organization today already have some web, but there are also some organization doesn't have web yet. So it is a web creating. The first stage is creating a web presence. And then we move to second stage, which is e-commerce. E-commerce started in 1990s. I think we discussed this in the first class. In 1990s, we have e-commerce, electronic commerce. Electronic commerce, they have two sides, which is the buy side and sell side. Buy side is your suppliers. You buy from your suppliers, buy side. And then you sell basic trading. You sell to your sell side. So it is very transactional. It is very transactional and cross-organizational. Cross-organizational, why? Because you buy from another organization and then you sell to another organization. It is cross-organizational. So you need technology that are able to deal with other organizations. You need to have the infrastructure that you will require will be like payment gateway. You need to have a domain. You need to have a platform, e-commerce platform. You can say some people have Magento or Shopify, or there are also open source like Zencard and so on. And then you can linked to a payment gateway. There are many payment gateway systems, so that you will be able to receive payment from Visa, from MasterCard, MX. So payment gateway in Malaysia, we have like Malaysia Online, we have GBH, we have Senang Pay, and so on. Yeah, so these are the payment gateway. So so it is, but it is not integrated well with the business strategy because it is transactional. In the middle part, you are still physical, but the sell side is electronic, the buy side is electronic. Either sell side or buy side, or some have both. Some organization only have one side. Most of them are the sell side. The buy side, they still have manual. And then they will embark into buy side. They make payment because the other sell side, the other companies sell side is e-commerce, so they have to buy e-commerce, for example, through e-commerce. For example, if you buy from Shopee or Lazada or Alibaba, they are selling over e-commerce, so you have to buy over e-commerce. So you become, so inadvertently, you have your buy side as e-commerce, and then you sell also through e-commerce, your sell side. So in the middle, your business is still not integrated e-commerce. So you move on the next stage, stage number 3 is an integrated e-commerce. Integrated e-commerce where you have in the middle part, we have ERP, legacy system, personalization of services in the middle part. So you have your internal business processes, because once you get your payment online, and then you cannot be doing reconciliation manually. So you need to have an accounting system, you integrate your accounting system, and then you can issue your purchase orders. Okay, purchase orders you have issues electronically. And then what about the requirement process? Purchase, what do you call it? Requisition process. Requisition process. Because internally, your units will have to requisite the stock, the stock replenishment, and so on. Stock count. So you need to have a storage system. You need to have SCM, supply chain management system. And then you need to manage your customers records. You will have your CRM, customer relationship management system. And then you have your ERP. So you combine everything. So that is an integrated e-commerce. So internal business processes, the company structure are integrated. So using what we call value chain approach. What is called value chain approach? Because from the supply chain, it's based on the supply chain. Supply chain, meaning that you buy materials from your buy side, and then you sell to your sell side. There is a supply chain approach in the middle. So every time you add on the value chain, you increase the cost. You increase the value. Increase the value. So you will sell at the margin. So that is value chain approach. Yeah. So integrated e-commerce usually is you put in the middle. You have based on SCM, supply chain management. You have the ERP and your CRM. That is your integrated e-commerce. Still not fully digital business. Not fully digital business. Fully digital business is your digital business culture. You have a digital business culture. The whole business processes linked to your partners, internally, externally, linked to your partners, and then all the internal processes, elements of value. So we can have across the enterprise and beyond the enterprise, linking from your customers, from your suppliers, to you, and then beyond that to your customers, everything is a digital business culture. Yeah, so that is complete digital business strategy. It's not just parcels and parcels or packets and packets of systems, but everything is integrated. Yeah, integrated. You have one system. That is digital business. You can imagine, for example, uh, organization like Airbnb or Grab or Uber, although they have physical outfit, but all the businesses are, say Grab, they communicate with their Grab or Uber. In Malaysia, we have Grab. They communicate with the drivers, the e-hailing from drivers online. And then even the customers book online. Same goes with Airbnb. So these are the new business model. These are the digital business, fully integration, internal organization processes, everything is integrated. So that is digital business, right? And then we have API, application programming interfaces that communicate with one system to another system, to your vendor, suppliers, and so on. So we build APIs or we implement other people's APIs so that payment can be done using payment gateway and so on. And then so that now they're moving, Grab is moving into furthermore towards digital banking, So complete digital business. So you can see the evolution from, if you can remember, if you can recall, in early 1990s, we have this web presence. Everybody built homepage. And then mid 1990s or late 1990s, we have this e-commerce, everybody embarking into e-commerce, but payment system still not many of the payment gateway. And then there are regulations came in that improvise the e-commerce. We have regulation to do the payment structure. And then we have the integrated e-commerce done by individual organization. There are some organizations that have this. And then now with the new business model, we have a fully integration. So when we talk about digital business, I think I mentioned to you earlier, we can start with basic automation to improving the business processes, to improving the business procedures, and then to improving the business process, and then to do a complete paradigm shift of the new business models. That is the digital business part, the full digital business model. Okay, any question so far? Okay, so you have some broad idea, reflect what we see. Actually, this is what we have been seeing today. So the summary, this is some summary on how do you do analysis of a B2B company. B2B company is business to business company. You look into how they deploy their strategy for B2B, business to business portfolio analysis. If they currently comparing their strategic importance of their information system and current strategic importance of the information system, current and the future. If they have say some with high and low, high future but low current strategy, meaning that they have this is high potential to move into e-commerce. They start with electronic catalog, e-commerce system, customer intelligence, CRM. So there is future, and so this high potential to move into an e-commerce. So and then is for those in the low HR, they have systems in HR system, finance system. That's all they have. This is low. This just based just to support the system. And then key operational, if their system is on production line system, they just explore into key operational system. A complete digital business for B2B will be a complete procurement system, stock control system, distribution systems. So we'll move on. Okay, and then now we look into TOWS, and then this is how you develop your strategy based on your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, or the other way around. We can have threat, opportunities, weakness, and strength. So we look into your organization. If you have an existing brand, for example, you look into this side. Yeah. As and strengths. We have an existing brand, existing customer base, and existing distribution. But the opportunity is you have opportunities of doing cross-selling. You have opportunities of new markets. You have opportunities to sell new services. You have opportunity to get alliances and do co-branding with other organizations. So you will deploy SO strategy. SO strategy is what we call attacking strategy. What does it mean by attacking strategy? You should leverage your strength which is you have existing brand, you have existing customer base, you have existing distribution, and then to maximize your opportunities, because you have opportunities to cross-sell, to do cross-selling. So by your discussion or brainstorming or with the marketing department, and so you will know that we have opportunity to do cross-selling. And then we are able to capture new market. We are able to provide new services. We can ally with some companies and then you do co-branding. So you should use your existing brand, existing customer base, and existing distribution to maximize the opportunity. That is what we call attacking strategy, to maximize the opportunity. Yeah, when if we still have this strength, but customer have so many choice. Customer have so many choice. So you're moving into the bottom part, ST strategies. Customer have so many choice. So we are not able to do cross-selling because their customer have so many choice, so many choices for the customer to pick. And then you are yourself a new entrance. You are new entrance. And then there are competitive products. Yeah. There are new entrants coming in, and then there are new competitive products with better technology and so on. And then there is conflict with your channel. Channel is the one that you sell to. Remember the 5 components? Your conflict with this channel. Some channels are also selling other people's products, other competitors' products. So what do? You need to deploy what we call defensive strategy. Defensive strategy is to leverage on your existing brand, leverage on your customer base, leverage on your existing distribution to minimize the threat, to minimize the customer choice, new entrants, new competitive products, new channel conflicts. You minimize them. Yes, that is okay. On the other side, if you have weaknesses, your brand is not very good. There are perception on your brand. You use so many intermediaries. People don't see you, but people see the intermediaries. Intermediaries sometimes are more known to you. For example, like a lot of hotels today, they don't they sell through Agoda. And the people know Agoda more than the hotel. What is Tissel? Tissel? What is Tissel? I've never known this Tissel. Double three, yes, and double three. So there, of course, some people know, some people doesn't. Then people are more towards the intermediary. So so many intermediaries, so you create a weakness to the organization. There are brand perception, there are so many intermediary views, and then you are weak in terms of using technology and skills, and then not also weak in terms of the cross-channel support. So yet you have opportunity. You have opportunity to do cross-selling, opportunity to venture into new market, to provide new services, to ally or to provide alliance with or co-branding with other companies. So you can counter the weaknesses that you have through exploiting these opportunities. For example, you can do co-branding. Instead of selling your product, maybe your hotel without a name, you can sell with co-branding. Oh, I'm Hilton, for example, a university, for example, you don't have such a name, but you can tie up with a prominent name, for example, Oxford, something you combine with a name when you do co-branding. So you build strength and then using the opportunities, yeah, exploiting opportunities. You can do cross-selling. You can venture into new markets, yeah, rather than maintaining your new market where they have brand perception. You move to a new market where people do not have label in your brand, for example, and then you can provide new services, new kind of services, you co-brand. So you will be countering the weaknesses, and then by using the exploiting the opportunities. This is WO strategies, building strength for the attacking strategy. And then, but if you have a weakness and then you have threats as well, yeah, don't have, you have brand perception, intermediary use technology skill, cross channel support is weak, and then threats, you have customer choices. Customer have so many choices, new entrants coming in, there are many new competitive products, you have conflict in terms of the channel, because channels are selling other products as well. You need to build your strength, meaning for your defensive strategy, meaning you need to look into how do you improve your brand, how do you build up your customer base, How do you improve your distribution? Yeah, you build your strength in order to have for your defensive strategy. That is how you implement the strategy based on the SWOT and TOS analysis. Yeah. Okay. So any question? Okay, we move on. Yeah. So this is for evaluating your external capability against your internal capability. You compare your internal capability against your external forces. So when your internal capability is high and then your external forces is low, you educate your customer, you motivate the customer so that you will have to increase your external capability to move up your external capability. But this is market driving strategy. If you are market driven strategy, meaning that you already have a high internal capability, you already have high external forces. So you're keeping pace with the market threats and opportunities. So if you uh, have a low internal capability and then high external forces, you are building to transition for the electronic commerce. Otherwise, if you are low, you are at the main, you just maintain status quo. This is period. Okay, and then when you do businesses, Carnegie Mellon have this capability maturity model, CMMI. CMMI is the capability, a lot of these technology companies, they have the CMMI level. There are level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking into the initial deployment of your software. I mean, this is a software development, software engineering level, looking into software development maturity process. When you went at level 1, meaning that you just initiate. So there is no e-business plan. You just lack capability to meet the commitment. So you're just at the level 1, meaning you're just initiating development, an e-commerce process, e-commerce capability. You're just initiating the e-commerce capability. When level 2, you have the basic to repeat, but yet you are still not, have this e-business awareness, but not yet part of your whole planning process. Yeah. Level 3, you have e-business enabled. There is a strategic planning process towards a centralized model. You have IT and competencies, but still not integrated. So level 4, you are integrated, meaning that within your organization, yeah. So this is integrated. Same level 4 is same like this. Integrated e-commerce, meaning you are integrated, but it doesn't go beyond your organization. Level 5 is you go beyond your organization, standard enterprise. So it's complete. Yeah. So this is CMMI level. Okay. Now, any questions so far? This is related to Michael Porter. If you remember Michael Porter 5 forces, Michael Porter five forces we have, but we look into um, when we talk about uh, organization, there is internal processes and there is internal parts where you improve your processes, but there are also external part in order to be competitive against your competitors. So to be competitive, according to Michael Porter, there are 5 elements. One is the what do you call it? Traditional rivalry. Traditional rivalry is people that currently a threat in your organization, selling the same product, selling in the same market. There is traditional rivalry. You can read about Michael Porter competitive forces. This is not the slide for Michael Porter competitive forces, but this slide is similar like Michael Porter competitive forces. So according to Michael Porter, there are 5 components. The main component in the middle is traditional rivalry. Traditional rivalry is the company, your current competitor who sell the same product and that in the same market. So they are your direct competition, head-on competition. Yeah. And then besides that, you have new entrants coming in. New entrants, new kind entrants are coming in who are new to the market, might be bringing in new technology, yeah, new technology, new capabilities, and so on, but they are new to the market. So some organization, some or not organization, some industries, they have a way to prevent new entrants. Yeah, we call it creating barriers of new entrants, creating barriers of new entrants. But some industries are not able to do so. So there will be new entrants coming in with new models, new technologies, new design, new patterns. So these are threat of new entrants coming in. Beside threat of new entrants, there is another competitor coming in. We call it substitute. Substitute. Substitutes are not selling the same product, unlike the new entrants or the traditional rivalry. The substitute are selling different products. They are selling different products, but same value, but similar value. For example, like you go for dinner, you can go for Italian food, or you can go for Chinese food. Italian food is Italian food, Chinese food is Chinese food, but they are alternative. They are substitute. They are substitute. They deliver the same value. You need some food, same value. So those are substitute different products but bring in the same value. For example, in order to travel certain part, you can go by air or you can go by bus or by tube from US, UK to France, for example. So you have alternative. So this is substitute. Substitute is deliver the same value but different product. Yeah. But if you read the book Blue Ocean Strategy, besides substitute, there is another one. We call it alternative. Alternative are not substitute. Alternative doesn't provide the same value, different value, but it still can be what you call can replace the substitute the product. For example, like you want to go for dinner, they have allocated some amount for dinner. Instead, your spouse said, okay, let's watch a movie. You go for a movie instead. So movie is not a substitute because they are different value, but it is an alternative. Alternative, yeah. So that is, but this is not mentioned by Michael Porter anyway. Michael Porter only mentioned substitute. And then there is the threat by the customers, customer threats. Customer always want to push the price down because they want to buy products cheap. That is your sell side. And then buy side, you have your suppliers. Suppliers always want to push the cost higher because they want to make greater margin. So if they make greater margin, your margin will be shrinking because you are stuck in between upper jaw and lower jaw. Between the upper jaw is your uh, customer price, lower jaw is your cost, suppliers cost, yeah, cost from your suppliers. So you will have been diminished, you are diminishing your margin. So this is the five competitive forces according to Michael Porter: your traditional rivalry, your new entrants, your substitute, threat from the customers, and threat from the suppliers. Yeah. So in this digital business, we have these competitive threats. So we have buy side threats and sell side threats. The buy side threats come from the supplier and the intermediary, because sometimes, most of the times, for example, we don't buy hardware direct from the supplier. We buy through companies that do the installation and so on, networking and so on. So we have intermediary threats. We have supplier threats, we have intermediary threats. That's when you buy products. When you sell products, you also sell through intermediaries. And then there is customer threats as well as intermediary threats. This is your sell side threats. And then in organization, you have your new digital products coming in. New entrants come in three different format. New entrants, yeah. The new for Michael Porter just mentioned about new entrants, but actually there are new people coming in. There are new digital products coming in. There are new business models coming in. New business models coming in, meaning that some products you don't have to pay. You can use for free. For example, today, things that you use on the web, a lot of them are free. You can use, if you say, for example, you want to develop your e-commerce portal, e-commerce platform, you can buy from Shopify, you can buy from Shopify, or you can load, subscribe from Magento, which is under Adobe, or you can get it free from Zencard. Zencard is free. It is open source. Yeah, so there are new business models. The open source is a new business model. So combine, these are all the competitive threats. So you have these buy-side threats, sell-side threats, and the competitive threats. That is the stage number 2. Stage number 2. In order to look into stage number 2, which is your understanding the from the strategic analysis, we have your external environment, internal environment, and then you do techniques of your macro techniques, micro techniques. You develop your digital business specific techniques, stage model. You assess your sell side. You look into buy side, value, network, opportunity. Okay, this is, we have done this strategic analysis. You done your strategic analysis. Yeah. No, now once you have done your strategic analysis, you need to develop your strategic objectives. What is your vision? What is your mission? Objectives? This is I think this is not so much complicated. I think a lot of you have done this. Vision, whether you want to replace the current digital business they have, or you want to complement, build a complementary from what you already have, yeah, already have, and then or you do adaptability of the new you adapt based on the current technology that you have. And then from this vision you can have your objectives. Of course, you have specific, measurable, and so on, attainable, and the smart objectives. And then you look into your online revenue contribution. How much revenue contribution do you get online? Customer value targets. And then you also look at balance scorecards. We'll discuss the balance scorecard detail later. And then, so you will develop your e-business specific techniques on your e-business specific techniques. Yeah. So what is the capability to change, how to reinvent, and then what will be your online revenue contribution. So you will start with your vision. What do you think the organization will look like in the future? Maybe 5 years, 3 to 5 years. What will be your organization look like? And then what you intend to achieve within the next 12 to 18 months will be your mission. Objectives is how do you measure? What is the goal that you can measure your progress? When you start objectives need to be measurable. You cannot have an objective that you cannot measure. You can have the vision that you cannot measure. Vision is so far-fetched, you cannot measure. But your mission is something that you can visualize. And then your objective is something that you can use to measure. You can have something to measure. And then when you have your objectives should be measurable. How much sale do you make? And then what is your revenue and so on? Which market do you will penetrate and so on? And then the strategy is how do you achieve your objectives? And then remember, when you're top level organization, the strategy, and then you have this middle level, which is the functional level or the tactical level, which is the one that will carry out the goal of the decision made by the top level management. The strategy have been decided, so the tactics is how do you achieve your mission. Yes, specific action, tasks, projects that you do so that you can achieve your mission and objective. Okay, this is so you will develop, this is some example, goal strategy for a sample B2B company. How do you develop revenue from a new geographical market, and then increase revenue and so on. And then you need to develop your strategy. That you will create a key e-commerce facility, create for standard products, attain soft login, develop e-procurement system. And then the specific objectives. Specific objective. Objectives must be something that you can measure. That's why we have key performance indicators that measure. So you want to achieve revenue of £1 million, for example, by year end. Online contribution of 70%. You cannot have something measure. Cannot have an objective that doesn't have measurable goal. Your objectives must have a metrics. Must have metrics. Remember, when you look at our the first, I think second slide, second class on the lean canvas. I give you a slide on lean canvas. If you look at lean canvas have metrics component there. Metrics component is what is happening around your environment that you can measure, so that when you develop your business model, you can put the measurement in, and then you can access the viability of your business model. Yeah. So objectives must be something that can be measured. So whenever you do your assignment or something, if you create an objective, put in something that somebody will be able to measure. Okay, so this is the grid product suitability for market adoption, just an example. So we look into market adoption, propensity for online purchase, and then product suitability, opportunity, and risk. So this is just an example. I will not go detail here. And then now we move into the strategy definition. Strategy definition, once you have your strategy just now, you have strategies, you have your vision, mission, objective, strategies, tactics, all to do. Yeah? Meaning that you have, we begin from this part earlier, where you have strategy analysis, you know where you are, and then you know where you are heading. You have your strength and weaknesses, you understand your position, and then now you move into the second part, where you determine the objectives clearly, so that you can build a measurable goal. Yeah, some measurable goal, measurable objectives. What is your target revenue contribution? What is your customer value target? What is your balance scorecard? I think I'll provide balance scorecard. I think I have slide balance scorecard. I'll provide later. Balance scorecard. Balance scorecard is by Kaplan, where there is 4 measurement. One, the main, only one finance. The other 3 is the customer. How do you emphasis on the customer, improve your customers, your CRM, how do you improve your customer? And then the number 2 is your online, your internal processes, how do you improve efficiency of your internal processes? Number 4 is your learning process, your improvement of learning. Yeah? How do you learning process? Growth, your growth and learning process. Growth and learning process. That is balance scorecard. Yeah? I think, do I have balance scorecard here? Oh, no, I don't. I think I will have to add in a balance scorecard later in the, I will put in your notes, yeah. Okay, because I limit the slide just to meet up the 1.5 hour. But I'll put in in your slide the balance scorecard. But anyway, you can just find balance scorecard anyway. So once you have determined that, you will define your strategy. You need to define when you have strategy, because like I mentioned to you, when you want to make decision, you cannot just make one solution and then you implement them. Always have more than one, at least 2. Better you have 3 or 4, 3 or 4 alternatives, 3 or 4 alternatives, so that you can evaluate, and then so that you can select. So when you define your strategy, first portion is to generate the options. You need to generate options. If you do this, what will be this? Do this. So you can do brainstorming. You can group. You can assess your what you have, your resources. You can look into your records. You can look into the environment until you can get, okay, we have these 4 solution, 4 options that we can do. You want A, B, C, D. Yes, so just put in first, and then only you evaluate. So option generation, you generate the option, and then you evaluate the option, and then you select the best one. because it is always iterative, meaning that once you start implementing this option one, and then you say, okay, it does not really fit. There are problems. You can opt for plan B, plan C, or plan D. Yes, so you prioritize your option. So so decision one, there are eight key business, or can put here. There are eight key business strategic decisions here. One is your channel priorities. What will be your channel priorities? Channel involving five, yeah? How do you create awareness? Promote the products. Number two is how do you do pre-sales, maybe sending quotation, pre-sales, sending samples, yeah, so people can get some samples and assess, or free tryouts. For e-commerce usually, or for digital products, usually they give you 1 month free use. Then usually they let them people forget, and then the second month they will bill you. Yeah, 1 month free use. And then that is the channel priorities. And then number two is how do you create your sales? How do you close your sales? Yeah, how do they make payment? How do you deal it? And then number three, once you create your sales, you need to deliver the product. Number four is how do you deliver the products? Number five is how once you have delivered the product, now what if something happened to the product? What if the product does not meet to the user needs? That I mean, so you need to do there are shortfalls of the products. And how do you make after sales? Number five is your after sales. So if you can take care of this all of these five, you will have continuously you can continuously retain your customers. Yeah. So and then in order to find this, you need to have your e-business channel priorities. What are your channels? How are you going to make your promotion, create awareness? Television, web, um, or uh, advertisement somewhere else, and so on. Okay, and then how do you provide freebies, free products, free tryouts? How do you close your sales and so on? So you have your channel priorities. You develop your channel priorities, e-business channel priorities. That decision one. And then number two is your market and product development. So you identify your market and then what will be the product needed for that market. So you need to make decision on that. And then positioning of your product and differentiation strategies. So what is your market positioning? Which market do you cater for, and then how do you differentiate the strategies for different market position, different position. You you can have different level of different tiers products. For example, products to cater for certain age group, or product to cater for certain income level. So or certain products according to certain say demographic, research, and so on. So you can have different positioning and your different strategies for the different positions. And then once you have this, how do you make your income? How do you make your income? This is in topic number 2. Earlier, we talk about your business models and your revenue models. Sometimes uh, the paymaster is not the end consumer. The paymaster can be government. The paymaster can be somebody else. Yeah, so it can be the income can come from advertisement and so on. So what is your business models, and then how do you get your revenue? Business models and revenue models, and then how do you restructure the marketplace? Yeah, restructure marketplace. And then we talk about marketplace earlier. Then we'll cover again marketplace later. And then supply chain management. The next week we'll talk. Next week we don't have class. The other week we'll talk about supply chain management. Yeah, how do you look into your supply chain management? Supply chain management capability. Supply chain involve raw materials, from the raw materials until you provide after sales service. End to end. Supply chain is end to end until after sales service. Not just deliver the product and it's gone. And it's until after sales service, supply chain. You still have to supply your service. Yeah. And then supply chain management capability. What is your management capability? If you don't have capability, and then you need to look into your channel, because supply chain has channels. After sales, there are channels to cater for after sales. You can, for example, if you deal with companies, with customers abroad, and then you might have some nearest region who can still support you. Yeah. So supply chain, and then internal knowledge management capabilities. You need to have some repository where you can gather complaints, also product knowledge, and so on. You need to have your internal management capabilities to develop your internal management capabilities, and then also your organizational resourcing and capabilities, where you get your materials, your skill, and so on. So this is the eight key e-business strategic decisions you need to make. Channel, product development, positioning, business and revenue model, marketplace, supply chain management, uh, knowledge management, and organizational resources and capabilities. This is the eight key components that you need to have. So we look at this is just examples. For example, organization that started in bricks and mortar, where they create just web presence only, information only, creating web presence, and then they can combine mix on and offline, not really e-commerce, but in between, or you can have clicks where they can in between, number three, or you can move complete integrated model until you can have a complete digital business. Yeah. So for the internet, to support different growth capability, you can look into the product growth. We can have internet to support. Well, how do you use internet? For example, internet for even existing market and existing product, you can start with creating market penetration strategy. You use internet for at the bottom here, green, to create your market share goals. Use internet. You can develop a customer loyalty program. Yeah, you can improve your customer value using internet, decreasing cost to serve, and so on. So people doesn't have to spend so much money in getting to you, so you can use internet, so it reduce the cost. Because internet reduces transaction costs. You can read by Williamson, internet reduce transaction costs. You can also use internet to get to new market, yeah, to get new geographic market, new customer segment, use internet. Or you can use internet to add value to certain products, to existing product. You can add value, meaning that you can increase, you can add on with complementary products, existing product. For example, like you can combine, I give an example like iPod and iTunes. I put iPod and iTunes. iTunes is adding value to iPod. Yeah, so you can change payment models, developing the digital products, and then all towards the fully diversification strategy. We can diversify into related business, create a new business model, even to unrelated business, upstream integration with your suppliers, downstream integration with intermediaries. This is a complete digital business, using internet. Then now you have determined your strategy, you have your options, you will implement them. You will implement them, you will plan. You will plan first, and then you will execute, and then you will control. You have audit trail, make sure that you achieve what this has been planned for. So you have supply chain management strategy, you have digital marketing strategy, customer experience and service design, digital transformation and growth hacking, and so on. So this is how do you develop your implementation, strategy implementation, and then you need to always control so that you can get feedback. And then because this system loops back, okay? It loops back, meaning that if it doesn't work out, you can go back to the even number one. You can look back the external environment. Maybe you have you miss out certain external environment or internal resources. You have missed out something. Or you can also look into level two, where you maybe your objective is not very clear. Yeah, and then or you can look into number three, you have selected the wrong option. That are based on the 8 decisions that you have made. And then you will select a new implementation. So it's always looping or iterative. Okay, I think that is so.
Sorry, Prof.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Prof, let me ask you, let's assume that a person is interested into starting a business as in terms of digital and in the for not a rich company, because I can see that what you mentioned is everything sophisticated, everything is for high level, let's say big markets, or like the level of Google or the level of Facebook. But let's say in a poor country, or let's not call it a poor country, let's say less high income country, but not so rich. Let's put example, just an example, Bolivia, for example. Even you can say Colombia, no problem. But I want to take example Bolivia. So some areas in Bolivia, they don't have knowledge about the QR code. They have an informal and formal business. Similarly, in Argentina and also in Brazil, they operate informal business based on they're using a logbook. They don't have anything internet. There's nothing established in terms of digital. So a simple entrepreneurship business for a person, let's say like me, I want to start a business by supporting the community, providing knowledge for digitalizing their business. Let's say a little supermarket, they have all the groceries that you need, but everything is in a little book. They don't have let's say, way to pay by using internet or using an app, because they don't have the knowledge how that type of digital entrepreneurship can be developed with all the information that you provided, because you provided a level which is pretty much very high. But let's say for a humble community that require or needs to be up to date with in terms of digitalization, what could be the best approach, Prof?
Okay. Okay, because based on my previous experience, this is based on my previous experience. These are not in the notes. Okay, once when we go to certain country, when they lack certain tools, we deploy technologies that are currently in existence there. So I was involved in banking business in Ghana, in Guinea, Republic of Guinea, Conakry, and then also some. I know that when even in Philippines, when they don't have very strong internet, certain location places they even use SMS. They use the normal SMS. You know that. So you can make use of what existing, what things that you have existed in the technology there. But you grow it gradually. You grow it gradually. You can scout around. That's why you need to do your environmental analysis first. You need to see your environment and then what do they have there, and then where can they go from there, and then you make your short-term run, short-term measure, medium-term, long-term, and then you determine what you can do first, which area you can do first. Maybe there are some I know that some countries they even start when people are moving into internet, they use SMS. They still use SMS, the short messaging system, to conduct transaction. But they combine, meaning that they are, for example, like creating awareness. You can use the means of creating awareness. Although you cannot go into fully digital business, maybe you can have some portion of it, creating web presence, if they can have access to web. And then if they have some SMS, and then SMS also can have detect. There are systems in the SMS that you can detect. You put in certain number, you can detect certain address. So they will pick up the certain front. So there are codes in front, for example, like say PBS, and then once they receive PBS, then will assign to certain server and so on. The servers are able to do that. The servers are able to distinguish codes to meant to, because we in Malaysia there were once that we use a lot of SMS messaging system these radio companies, radio systems, that the radio, yeah, they use this SMS so that we can do transactions using SMS before we embark into internet. We can still use SMS. And then there are also other systems like WAP, Wireless Application Protocol, WAP, WAP, or even voice, automated voice response, AVR, automated voice response. There are systems that they are still behind, but might be suitable for certain locality.
Right, bro. You know, I'm thinking like it would be something very interesting to go a community. Let's say some places in I'm sure, bro. You know, you heard about Medellin. Medellin is
Yes.
there in Colombia. So some of the areas is, you know, they have a lot of business. People are very into entrepreneur, but they are old fashioned. They have a little notebook, keep it in their pocket,
Yeah.
and write down, you know what I mean? They write all the business, all the money incoming. So it would be interesting to ask them, hey, look, you can have an app, you can do the QR code, you can scan your bills, even the barcode when they have in the grocery shop, they have the little, you know, where they sell all the cookies and biscuits. You know, it's interesting how, because the level that prof is upset when I tried, you know, I tried to compare with that little idea of I might not never do an iPad, but it's just a dream, you know. And then because you're explaining the theories, and I try to correlate with reality in the 60% of the world, because that's the reality. So yes.
Yes, the theory is there, but it's the same thing actually. It's basically it's the same. You do your environmental scanning first. You do your and then what technology they are there, and then you implement based on that technology. Still the same thing. Still the same 4 steps, but you depends on the technology that they use, and then you implement that. So there are, for example, like satellite access. So I've been supplying satellite communication as well. So there are places that you can have satellite access. Yes. So it depends.
In Malaysia, how much is the penetration of the digital technology in the local community? No fancy cities like Kuala Lumpur or
Yes. I live in West Malaysia, which is not sure about Sabah and Sarawak, but they're still okay. I think even in certain parts of East Malaysia, in Sabah and Sarawak, they are not that bad. Only certain remote areas maybe they have problem, but can say about 80%, 85%.
Yeah, because Malaysia is pretty much developed. But in other places, for example, if you talk about, let's say, Chile is a little bit, Bolivia not so much, Colombia is still a lot to develop, Brazil in particular in the north part, not near to Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo, but in the north part, it's a little bit, not in Venezuela, the same. They have issues with the digital, because it requires a lot of data, servers and so on. There is no much. Okay, I'm sorry. I went out of the line. Thanks,
I think that is good opportunity, great opportunity for you, still, Jamie.
Yeah,
Great
I
opportunity for you.
Yes. But I don't think, bro, that it can be. I mean, it has to be a very humble business. It cannot be.
It is a great opportunity.
Making profit.
You know the story about the people who sell the salesman who sell shoes. And then went to an island and say, oh, I cannot sell shoes to this island. Nobody wears shoes there. Nobody wears shoes. And then the company say, oh, this salesman A cannot sell shoes because nobody wears shoes there. And then pass to salesman B. Salesman B say, oh, it is good opportunity for me because nobody wears shoes. So I can sell to everyone. So you look at it positively. It's very good actually. I've been in business for quite some time, and then I deal with third world countries. There are a lot of opportunities, better than first world countries.
You're right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So
one question.
Yes,
if you don't mind. Talking about the stages of the business, right? Stages model. So the number 4 will be the digital business, whereby everything is in order, digitalized, everything in online. But when we talk about startup, normally the best that you can do is, website. So will that be like, which relate to our group
Okay.
assignment also? Yeah.
Okay, there
Yeah.
there are startups actually. Most startups today, especially in Malaysia, they move to level 4 straight. You can see Grab, My Taxi. Today a lot of startup they target for level 4. These are people who are very techno savvy, technology savvy. So they find some people to programs, and then but they don't have the capacity to have people resources. They don't have people. So everything is automated. For example, like you look at AirAsia. AirAsia started with level 4. Grab started at level 4. A lot of businesses today, I mean in Malaysia, even in US, they begin at level 4. They don't begin at level 1, 2, 3. They don't climb the ladder. They start at the top, meaning that everything, when you design your program, you design your interface, you lay out your plan, everything is integrated. And is it clear? I think.
Yeah, just that for those big company that you mentioned just now, Grabs or
Yeah,
Uber
but this
last time.
they don't begin big. They begin
Mhm.
small as well. My Taxi was small.
Now I was talking about, let's say, a small company in a certain area. They want to go digitalization, right? So
Yeah,
so
okay.
normally,
It depends on your products actually, I think. If you are dealing with selling and buying, so it will be best that you at e-commerce. If you are deal a lot of physicals, maybe you'll start with web presence first, or but if you are dealing with totally digital services, you may start. So it's not really much in terms of the hardware. What you need is server. For the level 4, everything is at the server. Everything runs at the server. And then today, in order to hold a server, it's not that expensive because you can use cloud. You pay as you use.
understand. So
Depends on depends on your type of service.
okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
Sorry, Prof. For the concern of our group assignment, it's not necessary that we need to move straight to digital business, right? It depends on
No.
our product lah.
No.
Am I right?
But at least level 2 lah. at least
Okay.
at least level 2.
It's level 2. Okay.
Okay. Not to just to create a web presence. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Thank you very much, Haziq, for asking question. For Jamie, Shazana, thank you very much, and the rest, welcome. Thank you for coming to my class. Okay. See you again.
Thank you, bro. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.